vola anguela o veteranu hoi tabua agi do talitaina na barongo na Bula FM na bandu na sere
Bula ang gono ilutoka do talita ka na Bula FM berarti na bandu na sere
ni Bula binaka nan regengo sa Bula FM nga na kasi
nalango sa mundo atiwe na Bula FM na bandu na sere nusuri
ni Bula binaka nalango Jerry yang melambasa do barongo na Bula FM.
In the news tonight, match venue inspires flying Fijians. Climate Action Summit off to a fiery start in New York. And PM Bainimarama urges world leaders to wake up.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
The Flying Fijians have an added motivation for their Rugby World Cup match against Uruguay tomorrow. The side will be playing at the Kamaishi Recovery Memorial Stadium, located in the area which suffered major damage during the 2011 earthquake and tsunami, leaving over 1,000 residents dead or missing and damaging a large portion of the city. Flying Fijians coach John McKee says it is of huge significance of featuring in the tournament's first fixture at the venue. Edwin Nund has more.
The stadium, which is located on the former site of schools that were destroyed in the tsunami, is the second time the Flying Fijians will play at the venue. Fiji met Japan in a Pacific Nations Cup fixture at the venue this year, something that has proven nothing but inspirational.
We know the background and the tsunami disaster that happened in that area, and it's probably an honour for us to be selected to go and play at the Memorial Stadium, and of course we already visited there when we played Japan in the PNC, so it'll be our second visit to that area. So it'll feel like a home game for us.
While the venue is already a boost for the Fijians, its scrum was put under pressure by the Wallabies in the first match. However, McKee still has belief in his forward pack.
Oh, look, our scrum has gone very well in other games recently, so it's not as if it's there's some technical things in there that we can work on, and I think that they're probably small fixes, but I think you look at the teams we've got coming up with Uruguay, Georgia and Wales, so I think they'll be looking at that and trying to put our scrum under a lot of pressure. But for me, I think with some small technical adjustments we can turn things around in that area.
McKee also wary of what lies ahead.
Our maul defence will need some good work ahead of the next games, because I think all three games that we come up against in our pool now are very strong in that area. So that's going to be a big work on for us. But
Skipper Domenico Wanganimburotu, who leads a new look starting team tomorrow, has also spoken of how this team is different.
Into the last two, 2011, 2015, it's a whole different team now. We've got different teams in this group right now. It's been together for a couple of years now, and most of us that in this team now has played in the last 2015 one. So I like to think, we've got more closer, and our games got more higher than the last two World Cups.
With Fiji expected to come to a standstill once again at 5:50 p.m. tomorrow, the onus is now on the team to take the inspiration of playing at a memorable stadium and take things to another level. We need nothing less than a bonus point win to keep our campaign on track. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
The Climate Action Summit got off on a firing start in New York today, with leaders admitting the 1.5 degrees commitment may not be enough to sustain our livelihood. But despite this, more countries have committed ambitious climate goals, and world leaders have been urged to wake up and act. Eleanor Tarangai viewers in New York and files this report.
Nature is angry.
Not mincing his words, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres got down to serious business when opening the Climate Action Summit at the UN headquarters in New York this morning.
This is not a climate talk summit. We have had enough talk. This is not a climate negotiating summit, because we don't negotiate with nature. This is a climate action summit.
Minutes after his speech, Guterres was joined on the floor by youth climate activists.
You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe.
When the leaders finally took to the floor, it was not business as usual.
The summit must be the moment we choose survival over selfishness, communities over coal, and planet over profits.
The situation is stark, but New Zealand will play our part in the global effort. It will not be easy.
I'm calling on each of you who have not done so to increase your contribution to the Green Fund.
Even if we limit temperature rise to the 1.5 degree target without urgent adaptation, our suffering will go for generations and claim many more innocent lives.
The Climate Action Summit was convened to boost ambition and accelerate action to meet the goals of the Paris Agreement ahead of the 25th Conference of the Parties in Chile in December. Eleanor Turangaibio, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama has called on world leaders to wake up to the call of taking drastic action on climate change. Speaking at the United Nations General Assembly Climate Summit in New York, Bainimarama says every nation must take heed of the call and build towards a more resilient future. Ali Kimbia with the story.
In making our stance clear on climate change, Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama has again reiterated on what must be done.
Fiji's view of what must be done is clear. We have submitted our long-term strategy to achieve net zero emissions before 2050. We are nearing completion of our enhanced NDC.
Bainimarama says Fiji is one of the small island nations that has faced the full brunt of climate change.
Why, as a tiny carbon emitter ourselves, are we taking such drastic action? The answer is simple. While Fiji did not cause the climate crisis, we are fully awake to its reality.
The Prime Minister has made it clear that Fiji will continue to fight for its future generation.
Someone must act with clear-eyed purpose and resolve. Someone must clear a path for others to follow. If we fail or if we falter, our children and grandchildren will have no path at all.
Bainimarama says the world must act now as the brutality of our changing climate has already driven vulnerable communities into a nightmare scenario. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
On the eve of the Climate Action Summit in New York, Pacific Island Forum leaders have issued their strongest statement yet on climate change. The Kainaki 2 Declaration for Urgent Climate Change Action Now was introduced at the Our Blue Pacific, Our Future event at the New Zealand Mission last night. Eleanor Tarangaiview reports.
Pacific Island leaders are coming out strong at the Climate Summit in New York, which starts today, to reinforce the need for world leaders to urgently deliver tangible outcomes.
We are all putting in the work to fight for our survival, to demonstrate that we are not just victims of drowning islands. We are fighting to transform our ambitions into action.
The Blue Pacific nations have put together a document that calls on the Climate Summit to deliver urgent global actions on climate change.
On our Kainaki 2 Declaration, we declare that the climate change crisis is facing Pacific Island nations. In doing so, we hope to set a new bar for the international community in recognizing and acting on climate change as a crisis.
The Kainaki Declaration includes calls for all parties to the Paris Agreement to meet or exceed their nationally determined contributions and formulate long-term low greenhouse emission strategies by 2020 for members of the G7 and G20 to rapidly phase out inefficient fossil fuel subsidies, and the international community to meet the global climate finance commitment of $100 billion per year by 2020. Amongst those at the front line of the fight against the climate crisis are youths from Tuvalu.
We are fighting, not drowning. Let us all save our Blue Pacific, our future.
The Kainaki Declaration has been presented to the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres in a meeting with the Pacific Island Forum leaders in New York over the weekend. Eleanor Tarangaiview, FBC News.
The trial of a 20-year-old man alleged to have been involved in the murder of a man at the Suva foreshore will begin in February. Saula Temo faces one count of murder. It's alleged that in May last year, Demo hit 23-year-old Aquila Salavuki with a piece of timber while at the FDB foreshore, causing his death. His body was found lying in a pool of blood by two men the next day. The case will be recalled for October 11th for pre-trial conference. The trial will begin on February 17th. Up ahead, fake news creates unnecessary panic. An official welcome for special administrators. Details after the break.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiama here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Rakiraki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the...
The rise in fake news on social media, particularly in Fiji, has taken its toll on many Fijians. This was evident yesterday as rumours of a coup and political unrest resulted in many students missing school, parents not going to work, and businesses closed. Social media experts are now calling on people not to be deceived by fake news, as it is created to deliberately misinform or deceive them. Kelly Vadala reports.
Many people rely heavily on social media for news, but are the stories credible?
Fake news is not a problem and doesn't spread unless you share it, with your community and your friends and your WhatsApp groups. So really, the first step to verification should be looking at traditional media organizations and seeing what they are publishing.
We're really susceptible in social media because there are some people with some really strong motivations. They want to get that point of view across.
The rumors of a coup impacted the economy yesterday as some businesses were closed and people didn't show up to work.
The productivity was down yesterday. A number of shops were closed. The workers were not at job, and similarly some of the schools were not operating. And it's a huge dent to our economy.
Some Fijians find it difficult to separate fake news from the truth.
The fake news going around on social media nowadays is really dangerous.
People are really scared too much about the fake news in this country.
It's become a concern because there's a lot of people who take their news from the social media.
Social media platforms can allow anyone to publish their thoughts or stories to the world, but the trouble is that people don't check the source of the material they view online before sharing it. This leads to fake news spreading quickly and going viral. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
With an increase in demand for rental flats, the Public Rental Board says they have never been able to catch up with the wait-listed applications. Acting General Manager Patrick Veo says currently more than 1,000 flats are on rent and over 900 people are on the waiting list. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Public Rental Board admits they are facing challenges in meeting the demand for rental flats.
We continue to encourage those who have for a period of time with Public Rental Board and the income have exceeded the ceiling, which is $317 for other flats and $481 maximum income for the Raiwai project.
During submission to the Public Accounts Committee yesterday, questions were raised on the options available to these tenants.
Very special kind of arrangement there for PRP, Housing Authority, where this group of people can be slotted into the Housing Authority projects.
So we're talking with Housing Authority so that these tenants can move to home ownership or rent with private rentals.
More rental units will be constructed to cater for the growing demand.
A total of 1,602 as in 2017, the number of flats. And the demand that is there is around 900.
Public Rental Board plans to construct 630 flats in future through private-public partnership. Currently, 36 flats are being developed in Simla Lotoka at an estimated cost of $3.6 million. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Investigations have revealed that many residential property fires were caused because of poor quality electrical appliances. The findings of the National Fire Authority were backed by the Consumer Council, that has also recorded an increase in reports of substandard appliances entering the country. Apinisa Wangarandovu reports.
While cases such as lack of child supervision and negligence are potentially the main causes of fire, substandard electrical items are also questionable.
The last time when I went through the presentation made by the National Fire Authority, one thing that did strike me was the cause of the fires that causes residential homes to burn up is actually the poor quality electrical appliances that's coming into the country. So I guess we know the cause of the problem, and now the challenge is how do we find a solution?
The Consumer Council says a lot of substandard electrical appliances have entered our market since 2016.
Date 2019, we have received 992 complaints in regards to electronic goods faulties, and the monetary value totals to $617,958, which is a huge amount.
The nature of complaints include defective items which is discovered a few days after purchase. The consumer watchdog is calling on people to be cautious of what they buy and remain vigilant when using appliances. Apinisa Wangarandovu, FBC News.
A new board chair and special administrators were today welcomed at the Suva City Council chamber by Minister for Local Government Pramila Kumar. Kumar has encouraged the team to initiate solid commercial decisions and strategies that will encourage civic pride amongst ratepayers. Josiah Nunga reports the group of special administrators come from diverse backgrounds to spearhead operations at different municipal councils.
The minister highlighted that commercial decision-making is critical for the council, as ratepayers have high expectations of them.
Commercial decisions are very important. We cannot continue to run municipalities as just a service center. This is not what the ratepayers are expecting. They're expecting far more than what we are delivering at this stage.
This new appointed team now have a role to play by instilling civic pride in every Fijian.
This is what I often hear, that we don't have civic pride. Now, it's an area that we have to inculcate. How do we bring about this civic pride in our people?
Meanwhile, newly elected board chair Isikeli Tigundondo says his team will prioritize customer needs and the business operation of the municipality.
I intend to support business process re-engineering. Business re-engineering process needs to be seen as an ongoing institutional upgrade exercise. Also, basic aim is to improve productivity and sharpen the process to support effective service delivery.
The new board chair and his 4 special administrators were stringently selected based on merit. The council now has a promising future with the wealth of experience the board team possesses. Josiah Nunga, FBC News.
The hearing of former Suva lawyer Shazran Abdul Latif's bail application will be held this Friday. In court today, Latif requested the Suva Magistrates Court that he be granted a medical order to seek a doctor. The request was approved and a blood test will be done soon, and then the findings will be handed to the court. Latif has been charged with being in possession of illicit drugs for the 5th time. His last arrest followed a raid at his house in Nailuva Road, Suva, last month. And it's business time now with Koroy.
Thank you, Jackie. Coming up after the break, over 88,800 visitors came to Fiji last month. And in growing Fiji, 399 building permits issued in June quarter. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's number 1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग खाली मिर्ची FM सुनता. गौल टाउन तावा में मिर्ची FM.
Leading business provisional data shows an increase in visitor arrival last month, Over 88,800 visitors arrived in the country, with increases recorded from the USA, New Zealand, China, rest of Asia and continental Europe. There were decreases in arrivals from Australia. The majority of visitors to Fiji last month were in the age range of 25 to 64. Meanwhile, tourism earnings for the June quarter of this year stands at over $528 million. This is an increase of over 10% or $48.5 million over the June quarter of 2018. The June quarter earning was also over 44% higher than the amount recorded for the March quarter. Australia continues to be the highest spenders in the tourism industry. Suniva from HFC Bank joins us again with the very latest from the trading world.
Traders are expecting a somewhat quiet week. A host of economic reports will, however, keep them busy. Besides the Reserve Bank of New Zealand's monetary policy meeting, there aren't that many market-moving events lined up. The Aussie and Kiwi dollars were steady ahead of a speech by RBA's governor, with the market expecting a dovish tone after weak jobs data last week lifted expectations of an imminent rate cut. On the data front, the euro nursed losses this morning after weak readings on German manufacturing rattled confidence. However, the US dollar found broad support as investors looked for signs of progress from Sino-US trade negotiations. That's all for now from HFC Bank, Vinaka.
Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning. A positive day for the Fijian dollar as it rose against the Chinese yuan, the US greenback, the Aussie dollar, the kina and the euro. The Sanghamuli slipped against the Kiwi and the Japanese yen. Looking at the commodities market, oil was down slightly at $58 per barrel. Gold rose $3 to $1,520 per ounce, and silver closed up at $18.56 per ounce. In growing Fiji, building permits for construction valued at $99 million were issued in the June quarter of this year. The Fiji Bureau of Statistics says a total of 399 permits were issued, which declined by 5.5% when compared to the March quarter. However, the corresponding value of work increased by almost 10%. The highest number of permits were issued in the Central and Eastern Division, which amounted to around $52 million. That's it from Business Tonight. Sport is up next with Jamie.
Thanks, Corey, and good evening in Sports Tonight. Reece reveals why he chose the All Blacks. And Wales get campaign underway with win. This and more coming up.
Navango merea, maramani waya manatuya sawa. Aweti kitunde nandi ya undo marata kana varonga na Radio Fiji 1.
Yawa asna vatili yawa maga Monica. Tondo varonga vale bunar doma ibiti lambasa.
Bula nadango aprosa ngarse go erkraki. Do televeo na varonga na Radio Fiji 1 na doma ibiti.
Bang nadango tsani bukia ngoni na mosi. Ando talita kana varonga na Radio Fiji 1 nando.
The Flying Fijians have touched up on a few things during the captain's run today. Despite a host of changes to the starting lineup, Coach John McKee is confident everyone is clear on what their task is for the match. He adds the weather in Japan has been in their favor.
With the changes in the team, everyone really knew their role clarity well. But a very good training session, and to me, the players are in a really good mindset going towards this game.
All Blacks wing Sevu Reece has explained his decision to choose New Zealand over Fiji, having made his Rugby World Cup debut in Saturday's 23-13 victory over South Africa. 22-year-old Reece added playing in a World Cup to his list of 2019 achievements on Saturday night, having also made his Test debut and winning Super Rugby with the Crusaders earlier this year. Born in Nandi, Reece was eligible to represent Fiji, however turned down an invitation from Coach John McKee in favor of chasing the chance to play for the All Blacks.
It's a tough question, Leon. To be fair, it was a dream of mine to always play for the All Blacks. You know, I had You had conversations with the coach of the Flying Fijians, and I showed him my plan and what I wanted to do and my future with rugby and stuff, and that was in the black jersey. And I appreciated him trying to talk to me and stuff. But this is always a dream of mine to play for All Blacks.
Wales delivered a performance of contrasting halves in their opening Rugby World Cup match as they produced a bonus point 6-try 43-14 win over Georgia last night. The fluent first 40 minutes was followed by a scrappy second half performance against a rejuvenated Georgian side. Here's the action.
In minute 2, beautiful ball from Davis to Jonathan Davis in the end. Underneath the upright, Justin Tipuric. Numbers on the right-hand side, but he didn't need them. Straight for the line is the shortest way. He was over heels, a couple of great inside steps. He raced away into the corner for try number 3, putting his side up 22-0 in a bumper 20 minutes. And then just at the stroke of half-time, Georgia fought bravely, but it was the Welsh yet again that attacked. The centre pairing doing really well. Jonathan Davis, ball on the outside, picked up his fullback. And Liam Williams got in for the bonus point try just on the stroke. George North saw a bit of space, put the kick over the top, and following up, replacement halfback Tomas Williams dived on this for a classic try. Chava, cap number 50, piled his body over for a wonderful score for Georgia.
And I think we came out of the blocks in that first half with the intent and replication of the training week that we've had. And we're very positive. Probably slightly disappointed in the second half with regards to taking our foot off the gas, particularly in the 22. But the pleasing points for us from the game itself, set piece, scrum and line-up functioned well.
Pleased with that first half performance. I thought we were pretty clinical. And we probably let, as Alan once said, we probably let things slip a little bit in the second half. But that probably didn't help with probably losing some continuity by making the changes with the subs and bringing them off, but trying to think about keeping players as fresh as we possibly can with the 6-day turnaround.
It's hard to believe, but aqua jogging could be the key to saving Brodie Retalic's Rugby World Cup. Selected on the hope that he could be ready for the quarterfinals for the All Blacks, he's on track for an early return from injury and could feature in a pool match. This from News Hub.
Brodie Retallick is almost back to lifting his usual heavy weights. And that could be thanks to an aqua jogging miracle 4 days before the squad was named last month.
You mean it literally clicked into place?
Yeah, I was just sort of aqua jogging along and I got a bit of a sharp pain and I grabbed my shoulder and I was with my wife, aqua jogging, of all things in Hamilton. And I was like, oh, that hurt. And then, from there I got out of the pool and it was pretty much good as gold. I could lift it above my head and out to the side.
Bang there, yeah.
Retallick dislocated his shoulder after being taken out by South African lock R.G. Snyman in Wellington 2 months ago. The coaches won't put a date on his return, but are excited that he's progressing more quickly than expected.
He's progressing really well. Whether it's next game or the next game or the next game will just depend on the next 2 weeks in the plan. So pool play is an option? Yeah, it could be.
Retallick is currently able to hit tackle bags lightly, but the next step in the plan is to get back into contact training. 2 weeks of that, and he reckons he'd be good to play. The athletic lock is renowned for bringing more intensity and niggle to training than anyone else, so hasn't enjoyed watching on.
Yeah, it's been pretty frustrating. I've been doing a lot of running up down the sideline. It's been a fair bit of heat from the sun while we've been out training, so it's fair to say that I'm over that.
Although he can't get one past the team doctor to get back into it early.
I've been trying, but not at the moment.
New Zealand and the Solomon Islands have become the first 2 teams to book their spot in the semi-finals of the 2019 OFC Olympic qualifiers. The 2 teams finished on first and second place in Pool A. New Zealand hammered American Samoa 12-0, while Solomon Islands thrashed Samoa 5-0. Both teams have one more game to play. As Fiji gears up to face Papua New Guinea in their OFC Olympic qualifiers match, coach Marika Rondu has identified areas that need work. Fiji will face Papua New Guinea at 3 p.m. tomorrow in its second pool match. After a scrappy 4-1 win over Tonga in their first match, Rondu says what needs improving is pretty clear-cut.
Like I said, just the intensity. We want to keep the rhythm high at the same time, improve on our finishing, and also just work again on our defense, just to have a recall of some important keys defending moment.
Now to our play of the day. With all the hype on the big teams at the Rugby World Cup 2019, this try was an instant classic from Namibia against Italy.
Luca Bigi goes to the back, and that line out not successful. Only the 5th time this season. And Torsten van Jaarsveld was off to the races there nicely. De La Harpe goes on the outside. Newman now the flat ball. Picked up beautifully on the outside. Plateau in open space. De La Harpe with him. This is glorious. Namibia, welcome to Japan. Damian Stevens is over.
That's it from Sports and New Media. After the break, why would you choose Samsung's Note 10 over Note 10 Plus? Find out more after the break.
हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार, हम रहता है लेबू और रेडियो फीजी में हरदम सुनता, बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोते सुनता, बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको।
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है। हम लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, नंबर 1 रेडियो।
कुमार स्वामी नायक है, गोंगो लेबू लटोका, रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
कुमार नकाफी में रहता है।
Angie joins us now with the latest from weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. There is nothing like the warm feel of weather. I mean, just look at the sunshine that's giving us all it has. Plus, the weather is being extra nice, which is amazing. Now, moving to the west, humidity is out to take over. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, same story, sunny and warm. Is fishing on tonight's agenda? Then let me tell you a little tip. Fishers prefer the evening and early morning sun and avoid the hot midday sun. And up north, more sunny periods were in the picture. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. The winds might pick up speed, so the knots would differ. For the tides, low tide at 8:26 p.m. with high tide at 2:40 a.m. Sunrise will be at 5:54. For tomorrow, settled weather is guaranteed. Plus, to add on to the great atmosphere, Fiji will be playing against Uruguay. Time to cheer again. Tomorrow's temperatures, the western side always takes away the heat lead. Nandi, Lautoka, Ba and the north will be warm in lower 30s. And looking further on to Thursday, more finer spells to prevail. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, what do you think of the 12 changes made to the Flying Fijians starting lineup against Uruguay?
It's very good, but only first time I see Nakarawa playing at number 8. It's new to me. I think they will be playing a good game on Wednesday this week.
I believe that the 12 changes made by coach is okay, as it will also help him in selecting his players for his starting lineup in the match against Wales.
I know as Fiji continues preparation from this match on, I have confidence that Fiji will win.
To give a chance to the new players or to the new guys, but if they maintain the first guys that were there in the first half of, you remember the Australia and Fiji game, they should have maintained that group, because if you look at it after the second half, we see a big difference in the game plan and all.
It's good. I mean, give the younger players a run here, see what happens. But I have faith in them. I have faith in selectors, and I hope they perform to the best of their ability.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, match venue inspires Flying Fijians. Climate Action Summit off to a fiery start in New York. And PM Bainimarama urges world leaders to wake up. For these stories and others, tune into our sister radio station, Gold FM. A poll question this week we're asking, should match officials who make blunder at Rugby World Cup be severely reprimanded? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day, sent in by Kavi Prasad, a beautiful day in Nasinu. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News, our Twitter page at FBC_news, or hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
We love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bulaminaka, I'm Linda Fong. I studied Suva. I love listening to Today FM because they play latest music and they rock.
Hi, my name is Asnate. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm Makereta from Nandi. We love listening to Today FM. Here in Nandi, it rocks.
Hi, I'm Shania. I'm from Lotoka and I love Today FM and it rocks.
Today's hit music on